my name's Barbara Gray from Clarity Stamp here in the UK. Welcome to YouTube Tuesday. Today I thought we'd have a go at using an aperture stencil. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I start making a card, I don't know where to begin because I just start with a blank piece of white card. And I find that these aperture stencils really give me an orientation or a place to begin. Have a look on the website, www.claritystamp.co.uk. There are about 4 of them, different shapes. They're brilliant. So what I've done today is I've attached one to a piece of the jelly card with a hinge at the top, low-tack masking tape, and that way I can peep as I'm going along to see what I'm doing. And before I start, I want to take one of my favourite stamps and I want to add the stamp to this area here. So what I've done is, just so that I've got an idea of where the stamp's going to land, I've made a couple of little dots along here so I can see when I open this up where the stamp is going to sit exactly in my aperture. So I'm going to use a black archival ink pad and stamp this rather lovely tree, butterfly tree, that our friend Annie drew for us. Very, very lovely. I hope you like it as much as I do. Okay. And I can see where my dots are. So that's where my tree needs to sit. And then I know that when I flip the aperture over, the tree will sit well within it. So let's have a look. So we're just going to let the ink soak in like this into the page. Jelly card is great for stamping on. So you see when you close the aperture, the tree sits nicely inside there. Cool. So what we want to do now is start using our brush to make an aperture. And I'm going to use the colour, the Adirondack Mountain Rose. And I'm just going to load up one of my lovely stencil brushes directly from the ink pad, and then I want to get rid of some of the excess because I can always add it but I can't take it away. So let me just use a piece of copy paper underneath to make sure that I don't go in too heavy to start with. I'm going to stand up to do this. I find it always helps. And then what we're going to do is just start sweeping around the edge just gently like so, and this should give us a really nice, there we go. So we just swizzle around like so and just come in from the edge. There we are. We'll get a nice sort of orb going. Then you see when we lift this away, you can see what you're doing immediately, which is quite cool. So once I've got that colour in, that's all I need. I don't need more than that. And then I think I'll take another stencil of mine and we'll add a little bit more inside this centre circle. So for example, I'll slide in the dotty wave stencil under there, and then I'll just add a little bit of accent by coming through the dotty wave stencil. Let me just check before I lift it. That's perfect. You see, so you've got these lovely dots there as well, and that's cool. And what I want to do now, I'm going to leave that stencil in place just in case I decide to do anything else. But now is the time to change the edge. This is quite cool and I think you'll enjoy it. We're going to start scribbling a bit. I'm going to take one of my black micron pens and I shall start it here and I shall just go round one time. So actually let me get rid of this because it's easier to turn the artwork if I do. And we'll go round and I'll start with the tree here and then round we'll go, and I'll just start going in and out like so. You see? There's no rule here at all. Just go in and out, just jiggle along. There we are, and then you'll meet again. And once we've gone round one way, what we're going to do is go round the other way. So for example, now I'll start over here and I'll start overlapping. So what I'm doing now, you see, is just weaving my way around, adding a scribble around the outside. So it's like a sketch really, you see? It's quite good. once we've done that, the next thing we need to do is colour in the areas that we've created. So, for example, I'm going to use a Spectrum Noir, the Indispensables, the essential set, and in that set I've already picked my orange because it goes really nicely with this mountain rose. It's a good complement. And what we're going to do, you see, is actually colour in this area here. Now these pencils, they're very, very lovely because they're like an oily, waxy type of pencil. And so I'm just going to go round now and I'm going to concentrate on so it looks like a fold, you see? So I'm just going to go round and just fill in these areas here, but try to leave a little area of lightness in the centre so it looks like it's weaving round. So you go and put the kettle on and I'll see how long this takes to go all the way around the trees. Okay, so I've gone round, that'll do for now. And I think the next thing I'd like to do is add a little bit of, I'd like to add a few hills in the background. So I'm going to use my pen again, and I'm going to use my weave to give me some guidelines. So for example, I'm going to come in from this edge here and then go round behind the tree and stop there. And then perhaps I'll go to this one here and then just squiggle and join up in the same place there. And then maybe I'll go from this one, this twist, and we'll go through that tree and then to that join there. And then maybe we'll come right up here and bring a really tall hill all the way down and join it there. So you see, you can make your background depending entirely on where you want to go. So I could make another one here going up to that twist. So it's really nice. It's dead easy. And I'm going to use the same pencil now to add shade, not on this side of the hill, but on that side of the hill. So for example, now, just watch, I'm just going to very gently add some very light shadow using the pencil to behind the hill, if you like, over Mum's Will's house, like so. See? So you just sit back and relax while I do this. The thing about these pencils is you can add depth as you go, you see, so you go really lightly to begin with, and then I can come in and add some more depth along the edge, like so. There, doesn't that look nice? I like it. We're starting to build up a really nice composition here. One of the things that I also want to do is trim this back. So I use a paper trimmer. This works really well for me. And I'm just going to take off a little bit of card on all four sides before I finish the edging. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we can carry on. Right, so now what we're going to do is fast forward because we just want to go around. I'm not going to waste your time showing you how to draw a black pen mark round the edge. So let me just go to one that I did earlier and you'll see that all I've done is gone round the edge with a black Sharpie pen. And then what I would suggest, just to enhance the background a little bit, will be to take our Dotty Wave stencil, take our brush with whatever's still left on the brush, just dust through, for example, like so. You see how you get some really lovely accents then? Just dust through with whatever ink is left on the brush, like so. And then that will make a really nice background. See, you take that away, you've got a few dots, top right-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner, and the job's a good one, as they say. So there we go. That's what we've done, is we've stamped through an aperture. We've given a beautiful weave using one of our micron pens, coloured it in with the Spectrum Noir pencils, added a nice landscape to the background, very, very simply. Added a vignette or a shade with our brush again, and then just a dotty wave frame in the background. And that's it for today. I hope you like that. All the things that I've used are available on our website, www.claritystamp.co.uk. If you go to my blog, barbaragrayblog.blogspot.com, you'll see most days I do really nice, well, I think they're nice, they're all right, step-by-steps, projects, and I'm here every Tuesday, so why don't you subscribe to this channel? Thanks very much for joining me, and I shall see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye now.